Well, first and foremost, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Jonathan Jones, for inviting us to be a part of your presentations. And, we feel fortunate to be the first presentation of the year. I mean, like everybody else on here, we're probably ready to move forward in 2021, see what it's offering, and, hoping some things just in the environment, construction business, take a positive turn for all of us. I hope that each of you had a wonderful holiday season and ready to get started and kick off the new year. For those of you that have not met me, I've met some of you that have traveled around the country, not in the last year mostly, but I'm Trever Stephens, ABH Manufacturing. I'm the VP of Sales. I've been in this role with ABH for almost 8 years now, and I've been affiliated with ABH for around 20 years, so a little bit of history there with the company. One of the things that we pride ourselves with ABH, guys, is always product development, innovating products, looking at the next market trend, trying to have something new. It's one of the, I think Jonathan and Justin would say the same thing. It's one of the, excuse me, it's one of the fun parts of being part of ABH is that it feels like every year, sometimes every quarter, we've got a new product, a new service, something that we're working on, something that we can bring to market that's different. I always say that, ABH started with overhead stops and holders, and I'm glad that for 20 years, I've not just been selling overhead stops and holders. Our portfolio is much bigger than that. So, what we'd like to do today is just really put some focus. What 2020 did for us, it did allow us to look at some different products we had been thinking about developing, that we had been considered developing, analyzing some different markets, forced into some different markets. And one of those markets being antimicrobial hardware. We've always had a few products in antimicrobial, but we expanded our line. We actually, we did more marketing with it, especially with our copper nickel products. Behavioral health. Ligature resistant hardware is another area that we've had products in that field, in that vertical for a lot of years. But that's not only a market that we're focusing on the last few years, but that's a market that moving forward we will continue to develop new products, refine the products that we have. We've through our reporting, it looks like, we figure 75 to 80% of the money being spent on healthcare today is spent in the behavioral health field. Power transfer products, as we all know over the years, there's more openings that have an electrified lock, some type of monitoring system at the opening. To play in that field, we obviously had to, develop through-wire products for hinges, for our pivots. We've expanded on that with some different products we'll discuss, and then custom products. ABH has always been known for, custom product manufacturing. We pride ourselves in being a manufacturer and having that capability when a customer comes to us, when an architect comes to us, needs something developed, built specific to their product. We like to be a manufacturer of choice and be considered for those types of options on your projects. In antimicrobial products, we've had standard products, which are coated products with a silver iodized coating. The last several years, we started looking at the copper nickel products. Some of you may be familiar with that. And if you are, I put a link on here for antimicrobial copper. There's a lot of unique history with copper coatings, and those types of products. Where it affects us today is the difference between the standard coatings that are sprayed on, coated on, is those coatings can wear off, they can scratch. The copper nickel with it being the alloy, you don't have to worry about anything being scratched off. You don't have to worry about it, wearing off over time. And with COVID, which is kind of is what everybody's discussing today, the copper actually kills the microorganisms and bacteria. It kills COVID within 4 hours. It has the shortest lifespan on copper as opposed to any other product surface that it may be exposed to. And with the cyanidized coatings, rather than killing, it really just stops the bacterial growth. So that's the main difference between the copper nickel and the standard coatings. And it really just challenge you if you don't know a lot about it. There's a lot of information, just doing some Google searches on copper nickel antimicrobial products. Some of the products that we're offering, we developed this past year, right after COVID. We put these copper adhesives in inventory. We've had a little bit of success. We've quoted a lot of projects. The people are, I think people are still waiting to see how things happen on some of the jobs before they actually make the purchase. But the way these copper adhesives work essentially is it's a sheet or a roll. We pre-cut sizes to work with the exit device pad, a wrap that you could put around a lever or a pull handle. You could put it on a microwave. You could put it on a surface top. There's a lot of places for this. We're seeing it mostly with the request that we've got. It's been in healthcare, but we've also had some opportunities to quote some schools that are looking at alternatives to, instead of replacing all of their existing hardware. Other products that we developed this year were the hands-free and foot pull on a door. Obviously, touching hardware has been a concern. These products, you're seeing them in a lot of facilities, especially public restrooms, is where we're getting a lot of requests there. And there's been a few larger quotes that we've done on hospital projects. Some of the products that we have and that we've always had the copper nickel product with our hospital push-pull latches. You can see the picture here on the cut sheet to your left from our standard pulls, our ligature-resistant pulls, our hip paddles. We're also doing in the copper nickel products a standard push plate, a standard push-pull plate, the hands-free products that I discussed, the arm pull, the foot pull. So we're doing all those products in copper nickel. And then we also wanted to point out, as we talk about hands-free with our hospital push-pull latches, is our hip paddle and our extension paddle, which make a standard push-pull latch hands-free, have become very, very popular products, probably more so than the copper nickel this past year. We've had a lot of requests, a lot of replacement work where people they're trying to do anything they can to keep from touching the handles. Behavioral health. I think behavioral health, again, is an area that not only, like I said, not only with what we've developed, but where we're going. We've got products that we have on our drawing board, spinning plates, so to speak, that will probably be developed in the next couple of years.
I'm so worried about everything being muted,
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Can everybody hear me? Justin, you all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think Christine just had her mic unmuted, so we got it taken care of.
Yeah, no problem. Making sure it wasn't a question or something. No problem. So with behavioral health, this is an area you'll see ABH continue to grow. You'll see us to add products over the next, probably forever. I mean, it's probably the largest vertical where we're going to spend put the most investment in time and money to develop new products. So some of the new products that we've developed over the last couple of years, first and foremost, is we have a double acting full height continuous hinge. We first developed it as our A508, which is a stainless double acting hinge. These were originally developed for patient rescue hardware on patient restroom doors, and displacing the pivot applications, taking away the line of sight for privacy. With behavioral health, these are being used not only in those applications, but also on anti-barricade doors. And we've been a specified product in projects all over the country with this A508. In the past year, we developed our A507, which is an aluminum version of the double acting hinge. The main differences between the two, the A508 being stainless, we do have custom capabilities with that. We can make that product to fit any size door. We can customize it to the opening if there's a special requirement. We could build an edge guard on one side to wrap the door, which we have done in some cases. With the A507, we're a little limited because it is an extruded product. Both products have the capability to have through wires run through them for any electrified requirements. In that application, you're using a cased open frame, so you do require a stopping mechanism, and you can use just a standard rescue strike for those applications, but we have this A509, which is our full height. It's the stop, and the stop essentially is spring loaded so that you can pull it back and it retracts so that you can pull the door too. When we have in locking that down, we have a pin and Torx method. We have it just spring loaded with no pin and Torx, and then we have a keyed option on that if they prefer that. What we found is that sometimes with the pin and Torx, the facilities will, they don't like that because the nurses aren't carrying it. They'd prefer everybody carry key if they need to have it locked down. So we've developed these options just kind of through trial and error and experience and dealing with the facilities that we're working with. Our advanced hospital tip, we've actually had this product for a couple of years. Well, the reason behind this product, and it is a patented product, ABH, is that what we found as we were on the design side, working specifications with some facilities, is that they don't like the raw cut that's been traditional hospital tip on an aluminum geared hinge because it tends to have a little bit of a sharp edge, and obviously in behavioral health, it's something that they try to avoid. The other option with geared hinges is a separate tippet piece of hardware. And we ran into a situation on some large work where the facility did not want that piece of hardware because their feeling was if it wasn't installed properly, that it could leave a gap between the top of the hinge and the bottom of the tippet. And so that's when we kind of went to the drawing board and essentially developed a hospital tip that's integral with the hinge, is made of the same tippet type material, but it's one piece of hardware. So there's no gap between the tippet and the hinge, and it's a smooth edge, so there's no sharp edges. And what we found with this product is if we're able to get it in front of facilities, talk to an architect about a specification, and then when they're looking at the project, it's a product that has taken off with large, in a broad scope. I mean, we've been able to get it in a lot of specifications by taking it again to the architects, to the facilities. It's a product that if you ever needed a sample, wanted to see it, and if you could get it in front of a facility, I think that just by seeing the difference in the way that we manufacture this and the way that it's used, sells itself. And again, it's a patented product, ABH. And then another big thing on this product, before I get past it, is and then you see the full mortise version. There are some manufacturers that have similar, not really the same, not true behavioral health hospital tips on their full mortise hinges, but we're the only manufacturer that offers this in a full surface, anything close to it. Other products in behavioral health, we've always had stainless pin and barrel hinges also, and with our hospital tip hinge, it's always been OMH approved. JACO has gotten involved with the with facilities and checking for their behavioral health requirements, and so some of the testing has gotten more stringent on site. And one of the things that they discovered about stainless hospital hinges, full height hinges, is the gap between the barrel and the hinge and the leaf itself. They consider it enough of a gap that somebody could get something between there and it creates a ligature point. So OMH came back and they basically took the standard stainless pin and barrel hinge off of the approved list. We instantly went to the drawing board and developed what we call our AC 500, which is essentially is the closed gap version of this hinge. So if you take a look at the picture on the left, you can see that we close the gap between the barrel and the hinge leaf itself. So if you're doing work on behavioral health, this would be the product to specify. Also do the hospital tip at the bottom of the hinge. We are the only manufacturer that with our hospital tip, we weld that top and bottom, and we weld it and polish it. All the other manufacturers cut that and have a raw leaf there, so they do have a sharp edge on their hinge. The LR2400, if you're familiar with wall magnets, we've been making magnets for probably 25 years. And, Rickson and Ives have these products also, but we are the only manufacturer with a ligature version. We currently have it under advisement with OMH, hoping to get the approval sometime this year with this product. As you can see, it has a conical design on the armature itself. You can build it out with the multiple rings to get your proper distance and clearance on this. And the wall magnet itself has a slope tops, top and bottom, so there's no ligature point on the magnet itself.
Hey, Trevor.
Yes.
Okay, so I have some questions here, and I'm going to take a quick
Okay.
little pause since we're about halfway through to
Absolutely.
offer this for everybody else out there if they have any questions. But I wanted to start off with talking about something that is probably very simple to answer, but maybe somebody else has the same question. On your A508 hinges, where the hinge comes together and it has the locking point, what is the purpose behind that design? Why do you want to be able to have the ability to lock that hinge down?
You're talking about the A509.
Right.
Yeah. So the A508 is the actual hinge. Okay. So if you look at the hinge side of the door, the pivot point is the barrel. So it's double acting in a cased open frame. It swings freely on the hinge. Okay. So when you have the stop mechanism, stop runs full height. This is the stop. It's not actually a hinge itself. It's the same design and material to where it looks like a continuous hinge. So what this is, move my cursor up here. So you can see that it goes full height. Because you're using a double acting hinge, you have to have, on a cased open frame, you have to have something to stop the door. You have a 5/8 inch return here, which is the same dimension as a standard rabbit or standard stop on a hollow metal frame, which is 5/8. So that essentially in the closed position is your door stop as your door comes back to an emergency situation. Somebody's trying to barricade something inside the door to keep that door from being pushed open. In rescue hardware, if somebody's on the floor in the restroom, this return right here, you can grab that and pull that back. Oops, sorry. Dang it. You can grab that and pull that open, and essentially at that point, then the door will swing the opposite direction and you can pull it to you. The reason that you have these as locked is in some cases, the facilities don't like that just to be able to swing open and close, or anybody just to walk up to it and use it. They consider that a privacy restriction in the restroom. If somebody's in there, at that point, anybody could open that and pull the door open. So they lock it down so that the door could be unlocked with the privacy set or whatever hardware they're using. Okay. And so they lock this just so that it's not free, so somebody can't go in there and open it and get into the opening, into the room.
Very interesting product. So I also had a question on the hospital tip that you had on the next slide, where it looks like at the very top of the hinge, you have sort of a plastic tip that is shaped, in a form, towards anti-lig. But how is that secured?
Okay, if you look at this here, you can see the back side. This is in the open position, and there's a set screw right here. If you can see my cursor. So when the door's in the closed position, there's no access to that set screw. It's locked in. That's when we show this sample at any show. That's the first thing somebody does is they walk up to this and they try to pull that off because it looks like it would just slide in and out. So and essentially it does, but we lock it in place with a set screw so it cannot be removed when it's in the closed position.
Oh, that's great. So what you're saying
that's a good question.
Does the customer have the ability, if say that breaks on site or breaks in transit, it breaks any time like that, will they have the ability to get that piece replaced? Can they order that separately?
Yes, we could replace the piece. I have a hard time imagining how that would break, but we all know that we'll probably run across that at some point, unfortunately. But we've been selling this product, and we have sold thousands of these hinges, and that has not been an issue with anything breaking. But yes, if you needed that part for some reason, just the tip, it has to be a replacement because the hinge is prepped to accept that tippet piece, whether it's a full mortise or full surface.
Right.
So you couldn't take that and just put it on our standard hinge. It would have to be a hinge where, like you said, it was removed, broken, something like that.
For sure.
All right, wall stops. First, I want to emphasize that we are not getting into the commodity doorstop business. That is not our MO. When we look at products and product developments and verticals, we try to look at products A, that we can build, B, that are bringing value. We don't want to just import products and keep them in inventory, so to speak. And so you'll never see us get into the commodity stops, kick plates, things like that. So, but with the ligature resistant, the thing that we've discovered, I mean, there's limited competition with these two door stops. There's only a few manufacturers, and when there's a new facility that is being built or specification, typically, I mean, we're working on two large hospital design build projects right now, and there's thousands of these stops between the two projects. Again, you have them on most doors, and when there's behavioral health involved, we've got two series. We've got this lighter duty. The wall mounting piece here is it's sloped all the way around, and it's got this bubble, so it's it's ligature resistant in that regard. This is the heavy duty version. It's got this conical rubber shaped stop, again with the plate having it's sloped all the way around, so you have no way of tying anything to it. We've got OMH approval on both of these products. And I think it's important to point out sometimes, I would venture to guess that anybody that's familiar with ABH is not familiar with us making wall stops. It's not something we've advertised or done, but you'll see it in our catalog, and you'll see a lot of emphasis on this through some e-blast and other marketing agendas this next year. Power transfers. We've been doing power transfer products of some sort for ever since we've been in the gear hinge business, which has been 15 years. So we've had standard through wires on our stainless pin and barrel. We've had it on our aluminum hinges. We can through wire all of our pivots. I do like to point out, if you're not familiar, we have a power transfer product that's equivalent to the Von Duprin EPT. The difference between our product and all of our competitor products is we don't have plastic parts on anything. So we still have a steel end cap here. We use a two-piece telescoping rod instead of a one-piece. Gives you a little more play. If the installation's not perfect, I know you don't run into that much, but just in case. And then, the other thing about it is it template's exactly the same as the Von Duprin Securitron products. So, whether it's retrofit or whether it's, hey, we've already prepped our doors and frames, but we're going to go with this product, you could substitute our product into the project. Another product that we have in the power transfer is we have a swing clear version. We developed it. We get a lot of requests from our customers for products like this. Hey, if you had a swing clear version, we could use it. We run into this and nobody has an answer. So we developed a swing clear option on the power transfer to where essentially it's got this coil material instead of the hard telescoping rod, which gives it more flexibility and allows it to swing clear out of the opening. Another product with power transfers that we've developed this past year, we went through some beta testing early in the year. We targeted a few stocking dealers as wire harnesses, and we are ready now to go. We've started launching this product. We've got inventory in place. We've got available in all standard links, and we can do any custom length. If you had a custom length that you needed, we can build it to suit. A lot of these products our harnesses are going to ship within 3 days. 10 24 gauge wires to 18 gauge wires. We're a one-stop shop. If you guys need it for ASA, you need it for a Legion, you need it to tie to Dormicaba, we offer all the connectors and pinouts for each of those manufacturers. We're also now offering a kit that has a crimping tool and has additional connectors and pins in case you're working, if you're doing quite a few of these, maybe you're doing pre-install, maybe you've got a customer, maybe they're doing pre-installs, something like that. But that's something that we've been providing. Someone's willing to looking at stocking this product, putting it on the shelf. We provide one of those kits, just gives you additional tools and accessibility to do a lot of the work yourself. EA through wire. So we had standard through wire options on our aluminum geared hinge for forever, as I said. And you know, the thing is, in our industry, everybody basically had copied what the last guy did. So we were all building through wire hinges essentially the same. There was a tippet piece on the back, and you had these 28 gauge wires running through this hinge. You know, what we ran into and what we saw, and it was not an exclusive issue with ABH, and I can give you project examples that had the mix of our product and other customer or our competition's products where there were failures on the job. And typically where there were failures with wires had more to do with installation than it has to do with the product itself. You know, those wires are taped in place on the back, and when they get out in the field, they get moved. They get put into a pinch point in some form or fashion during the installation period. And over time, the 28 gauge wire and a pinch point is going to wear out and fail at some point. And that's what we were running into. And we were looking at a way to overcome that. And so we went to this easy access model, is what we call it, and it essentially gives you accessibility through the wire here, which does two things. I mean, it takes away having to have a 3-piece hinge with a movable section, so it's more aesthetically pleasing to the architect. There's no cut in the hinge. There's no complication when it gets installed of lining the bearings up and getting everything, or the gears up to get everything just perfect. And at the end of the day, they can pull these covers off. You can replace the wire rather quickly. You can do your install rather quickly. You can do your quick connects rather quickly, right there at the opening. The other thing that we've done with this is we went from we elongated the channel. We made everything wider in here. And the main purpose in that was not only to eliminate the pinch points, but we were able to go from a 28 to a 22 gauge wire. And we've gone this ribbon wire. After doing all of our testing, we find it to be the most durable option. And we have a lot of confidence in this product, so much that we're offering a lifetime warranty, not only our standard warranty on the hinge, but on the wiring itself. So if the wires fail at any time, we're willing to replace those hinges for the lifetime of the hinge, or replace the wires for the lifetime of the hinge. That's an exclusive warranty to ABH manufacturing. And again, it shows, it's proof in the pudding. We've got whiteboard projects all over the country. We did a lot of beta testing, providing these hinges to jobs, and we have had 0 failures in 3 years from the first design of the hinge that we had. Custom products. You know, again, we've always done custom stuff. What we're looking at today is adding some of what we call custom products to our standard product portfolio. You know, creating literature and price lists for some of this stuff. So we're in process right now with some literature blasts that we're going to be sending out, some marketing tools that we're going to be sending out all during the first quarter. So some of these products, you will see some of these products are already showcased on our website. Locking ladder pulls. We have, again, it's a product that for a couple of years we've toyed around with. We've done a few custom projects for a few select customers that have come to us and requested, start looking at it and decided, you know, this is something we can do. This is something we can build. It's something, when we look at our competition, I mean, A, we can be competitive. B, we can do anything that anybody else can do. If we've got some new literature that is being approved right now on this product specifically. So you'll probably be seeing that whether from us directly or through our rep teams, whether it's e-blast or handouts for some of these products. But essentially, we can do anything. You know, if you look at an ASA catalog, you look at any of the products that they have with their locking ladder pull designs, we can do the same things. Where we're at today is if you have a project, we're pretty much doing this on a quote basis. So if you have a project, you want to send us a list of material, we're happy to quote it. When we quote it, we can give you a lead time. And again, we found our pricing to be competitive, which is the case throughout our product line. We rarely lose to price on anything. So again, and we'll continue to grow at this, and we'll also provide. We'll be using, if you order the cylinder housing from us, we will offer the best housing with a construction core, so small format, or you can provide your own housing, either way. Products that we've got, we've developed these door edge pulls, and this came from demand from our customers. We had customers. There's a few manufacturers of this type of products. The most popular, if you're familiar with it, is a brand called Tidex. And we've had customers come to us and say, "Hey, could you guys build these? There's quite a few on the project. This is the pricing. This is the lead time." And on this particular, typically these are larger projects. We've seen them a lot on high-end condos, high-end multifamily, some high-end office buildings. And the pricing that we've put out has probably saved our customers 40 to 50%. And lead times on these products from our competition are typically 14 to 16 weeks. We're probably 4 to 6. So we at least cut that in half. With the 18111, I mean, it's just a standard push-pull plate. We have the capabilities to make this. Again, we are not diving into a full line of push and pulls, but with just having a standard product, we've got some customers that buy this from us. They inventory this product because we're competitive. They can add it onto their orders with ABH. So if you've got products, just that they're mill standard run push pull plates, we have that option available. And again, we can do some custom stuff, and we do want to emphasize that if you had just some custom pulls, something that you needed us to look at, we'd be happy to quote it for you. Sliding door hardware. So sliding door hardware it's one of our real brand new items, and we've done a few projects this past year, kind of learning it. And when I say learning it, it's not a guinea pig type thing. It's we do our due diligence before we sell any product. So but you learn as you go with any product also. So we this right now also on a quoted basis. We can offer anything that our competitors offer. Where we're going with this long term is that within the next year, and we're targeting first to second quarter, we will have inventory of this product. And that's where we want to be different. We want to be able to ship it fast. That's what we do with everything else that we do. So we want to build, we want to manufacture it. We want to ship it fast. And we also are probably going to try to consolidate some things with the different, right now we've got several different series. I've got another slide here, and then we've got, we're putting out a complete brochure, but we're going to consolidate it, I think, where we do, where you have a one-stop shop on a unit where maybe it has multiple pieces of hardware, multiple sizes of track, so that you could put it on site and build it on site for the requirements. Those are the types of things we're thinking about. But I think the thing that's really going to make us different, the difference with us is going to be the pricing. And then secondly, once we get the inventory in, which we've already created the space and the shelving, our lead times will be second to none. In the interim, if you run into a project, if you can send it to us, we're happy to quote it. We'll quote a lead time on the quote. Just let us know what you need, and I think you'll find us competitive and helpful to whatever your needs are. Door stops. We started manufacturing this product about 2 years ago. I mean, it's just one of those customers come to us, "Hey, we're stocking this, we're selling more of this. Could you build this?" So we started building them, and we're going to be advertising it, putting in a catalog, putting out a list price. We've got the product in inventory now. These privacy door latches have become very popular in hospitality work. We have customers that their primary business is hospitality work. We do other products with them, and we were getting asked about it enough that we developed the product, put it in our product line. Same thing with this AM801 coat hook. Just products that we get a lot of requests on. Can you build it? Could you keep it? Would you keep it on the shelf? And we have done so. I always like to remind people where we came from. We're in our 30th year of business, which is it says something about ABH. We're here to stay. We're not planning on going anywhere. People get asked all the time if we're selling the company, and there's nothing like that in the foreseeable future. We have young ownership, young leadership. You know, the other products that we have, if you're not familiar with our full product line, we have overhead stops, hospital latches, pivots, mag door holders, aluminum geared hinges, stainless pin and barrel hinges, power transfer products, stainless steel edge guards, rescue hardware, flush bolts, coordinators, surface and slide bolts, roller latches, and we do custom strikes. If anybody needs any literature or product updates on any of those products, the JL Jones Group obviously can keep you updated with any of that, or if you need anything sent direct from the factory, we can send it also, whichever you guys prefer. Lead times with all of our products, we've got what we call our Target One program. Target One program is a list of products that everything on this list will ship within 3 days guaranteed. All of our aluminum geared hinges ship in 48 hours. That includes the hospital tips, power transfers, Dutch door cutouts, custom cut to length, whatever, you know, custom colors in some cases. We keep black in stock. Just let us know what you need. We are in process right now of putting a powder coat booth in house so that we can do more custom colors ourselves. Something else and a goal for 2021 for ABH is this Target One list. If you look at it, it's kind of what you might call the bread and butter of our product line. Everything on here is in 32D or 28 finish on the mag holders. We're going to have this expanded by the end of this next year, where this will be multiple finishes, 10B, polished, US 10, to where you could come to us and say, hey, we need this product, we need it fast, keep you from having to go to wholesalers and buy product at your buy program. If you guys have a project with us and you get a lead time on a product that's not Target One, and it's, I mean, our longest lead times typically are 2 to 3 weeks. But if you need help with an order, if you need something expedited, please don't be afraid to ask. I mean, we will jump through a hoop, do everything we can to get an order out faster to meet your requirements if needed. We like to tout the fact that we do 85–90% of our manufacturing in-house. In-house, home being Chicago based. On this picture, you see one of our CNC machines at work. What I really like to point out is this picture, because it's something that a lot of people wouldn't know and don't know, is that we do all of our finishing in-house. That's our e-coat room. So we take everything. We use a stainless base material for all of our products, but that's where we do all of our finishing for 10B, US 3, US 10, US 4, whatever the finish might be. It's all done in-house. There's very few manufacturers manufacturing with the capabilities that we have today. And this is our team. If you're using ABH as a product line now, at some point you probably deal with our team. We do like to point out that if you have quote requests, you can send them in the quotes at ABH MFG. We turn all of our quotes within 24 hours guaranteed. If you need it faster than that, all you have to do is ask. And I can almost guarantee you that 99.9% of the time we can get it to you in the time frame you requested. And if we can't, we're going to tell you. We're not going to say we'll see what we can do. We're not going to say, yeah, we'll get it done and not get it done. And again, it's very rare that somebody comes to me and says, man, you guys couldn't expedite this quote for me. Usually we can get it out. Orders go to orders@abhmfg.com. Orders are taken in and acknowledged typically in the same day. And again, we ship rather quickly. The inside team is Stacy is our inside sales manager. Bianca, she's customer service and order entry. Christina, customer service and primary order entry. Brandon, if you've ever had any kind of technical question or field problem, you may have spoken with Brandon at some point. Brandon's been with ABH 12, 13 years, has a lot of tribal knowledge at the company. Lindsay does customer service, does our estimating. Carrie does customer service and order entry. Zach does customer service and estimating. Kind of put some faces to names. If you guys, call, want to talk to somebody, need some help with an order, have a question on a quote, whatever it may be. We try to be short and sweet. We know your time is valuable. So I appreciate you taking some time to see what we have as new products. And, obviously, if there's any need to reach out to Jonathan Jones' team, Justin, myself, anybody at ABH, please feel free to do so at any time. My information, we can get it to you. Justin can email it to you. It's also on the website. My cell number, my email, along with many of our partners, a representative sales team, so forth and so on. So with that, we can open it up to any questions that you guys might have.
So with all of this fast lead time and things like that, you guys must have a whole lot of problems with templating on your hinges. Are they all mixed up and different whenever you order your hinges? How does that work, Trevor?
No, all of our hinges are true templated.
Well,
And
what does true templated mean?
True templated means that if you take an ABH, an 83-inch full surface hinge, full mortise hinge, you could change that out with any other 83-inch full mortise, full surface hinge. And the advantage that has is twofold. I mean, if you're selling to a storefront manufacturer, for example, or storefront dealer, they like to lay their doors and frames up, lay one hinge out as a template and pre-drill everything. It also, with distribution today, with installation becoming a bigger issue, you could take one hinge as a template, whether you're taking it to the job site to pre-drill all the frames, whether you're laying it up on doors, and you could pre-drill using one hinge as the template for the entire project, and then all the hinges will fit into the same screw holes. Good question, Justin. Thank you.
Wow.
Really speeds up the process if you're doing pre-installation. Also, we get a lot of comments and compliments in that regard.
It's amazing, guys, to think about ABH manufacturing as an American-made product, as something that you can get in 48 hours, 72 hours, or at maximum 2 to 3 weeks. To think that you're going to get the ability to have a competitively priced product, a product that's true templated, and one that has some customer service that is that stands apart from a whole lot of other manufacturers out there in the industry. So if you have any questions for Trever on anything that they can do, whether it be standard or custom, please feel free to ask him. And if you don't have any questions now, but if you come across some, please feel free to ask me those questions, and I'll forward them on to Trever, or I'll answer them myself. If you need anything in the interim, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help. Do you guys have any questions for Trever? If not, I'll close out and I'll say some statements at the end of the call, so that way we can finish up the meeting. But I'll give a quick pause to see if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, one thing I might add on the hinges, Justin, since you brought that up specifically, is also, I mentioned that we can ship custom links. I mean, we don't charge for some of those services. If you need an 81-inch hinge, or you need a 68-inch hinge, that cut to length and getting it out in 2 days, and we don't charge for those cut charges also. So there's a big advantage in looking at us if you have anything odd size wise with any of your projects.
Unbelievable, and great point there, Trever. So this will be the end of our Training Tuesday call, but I would like to stress a couple things with you guys. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday for every month throughout 2021. We're going to have a lot of interesting categories to go over. We're going to talk more about ABH products in the future, but we're also going to bring some other manufacturers in the mix and things like that as well. So join all the Training Tuesdays. Enter yourself to win Google Home products or some other prizes that we're going to be offering later on in the year. Participate, ask questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need any help with specifications. I know that we're more than happy to help with writing specifications, helping with any questions on specifications, or doing any conversions from other manufacturers to ABH. I appreciate Trever coming in with all the knowledge. Trever and I, we have a back and forth on some local college football, but we're not going to get into that today because that's a whole nother hour, or maybe even more than that, of a conversation on why his team is worse than mine. But we'll go ahead and end the call and end the presentation. And I appreciate you guys so much for participating in our first Training Tuesday.
Yeah, and I want to thank you all too, and hopefully at some point this next year we get to travel and get out to see most of you guys in the near future. So thanks again. Thank you, Justin.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and have a good day and have a good afternoon, guys.